So it won't have escaped anybody's attention as they leave Brightlingsea that there's been a huge amount of work going on at All Saints Church, and today I'm going to be one of the first people, or the first non-workers, to find out exactly what's been going on behind all the scaffolding and all the shrouding. And I'm going to go up, where is it? There.
Over the last few months, our contractor have arrived. They've mobilised on site. They've put up this wonderful scaffold, which is 16 runs high, so it goes all the way from ground level up to the top pinnacles and tower roof. And effectively, what we're doing is repairing the masonry on the tower. So a lot of the stonework that has disintegrated due to environmental weathering, etc., in the prevailing winds, that's all being repaired and replaced, and we're doing sort of spot replacements all the way from the very top of the tower all the way down to the bottom.
And how bad a state was it in?
Oh, it's in a really bad state.
Yeah.
The tower is on the Historic England at risk register, and was temporarily braced, so it was at risk of falling down. So it's in a really bad state of repair. We've had a whole load of major implications in terms of archaeology. Digging in a churchyard is always problematic. So we found a whole load of human remains over here, and over here we found a whole load more human remains. So the same as...
You're not going to stick flame timer.
No, so it'll be the same finish as this. So effectively we're in the new extension here. This is the original north door which leads into the nave. So that'll be the entrance into the toilet, and then there'll be a secondary entrance into the churchyard through this door here. So effectively I'm sat on the toilet at the moment, effectively. So the toilet's going to be here, and then down here there'll be a dividing wall, and then the kitchenette in there. So it's a very small space. We couldn't afford much more. Space is always limited as well. But we've got the facilities in here to deliver future activities, events, and just make the building a lot more accessible. It's interesting to see actually the old stone in comparison to the new stone on the archway to the window stairs.
So here we are about halfway up, looking out through the film down Alsford Creek.
So all of these red crosses that you'll see all the way around the church are the areas that we're going to be doing some stone repair. So what's effectively happened is that I mentioned about the QI report. So the quinquennial inspection is a visual inspection with a set of binoculars that carries out a visual inspection. We then sent a drone up to have a look from a digital point of view to survey it. And then now we've got the scaffold in, the architects can really get up close and feel what's going on. So between the architect and then the stone detailer, we've then clarified all the schedule of works, etc. So all these areas here are the areas where we're going to be doing some stone repair or repointing or replacement. So it just shows you the sort of the level of detail to what we're doing. But also you can all come through here and look through this window hatch, and you can all see some of the internal scaffold as well. And that's in the ringing chamber at the moment.
Halfway up.
Flint work's not so bad. We've got small areas that need repointing, but as a whole, the flint work has held up really well. And I believe the house opposite on the corner, when the church was being built, that would have been where the stonemasons were placed.
Right.
I was talking to the couple over there, and every time they dig a hole in their garden, they're finding loads of this flint and bits of stone. And
So if there's an area that needs to be cut out, then it's marked up, walked around with the architects and clients or whoever's involved, then gets marked out, then either gets cut out, as you've seen here, for the repairs, and I come and do the measurements, any templates that need to be done, okay, take the measurements, take any templates, that then goes back to the factory, it all gets manufactured, comes back to site, and obviously gets fixed from there, okay. But obviously, this is the part where any measurements that are wrong or anything goes into the factory, and that's it. Once it's made, it comes here. If you don't work, it don't work. So we're using Ancaster white on this to replace it. I think originally it was a cairn stone. The cairn stone is a very soft stone, come from France, and it's a lot of buildings done with it, but it's very, very soft. Deteriorates quite bad. We're using Lancaster, which is a more robust stone. Colour's very, very similar. Texture's very, very similar. It's a very, very similar stone, but it'd be more robust, give you more life.
Is the architect's comments at tender stage, and then all of those notes have been, surveyed and what have you, and then regurgitated out as stone that can then be installed on site. So that just gives you a flavour of the level of the detail that the contractor are working with at the moment. And these
Where there's been sort of we've put back, but generally we put back now.
Oh yeah, so we're all here, aren't we? Yeah, so this is a flagpole. This actually is a lightning conductor. So we've got lightning conductor that goes all the way from ground level all the way up through this piece of metal here. So that just conducts the lightning. All of this is completely rotten, so this is all going to be replaced, and we've got temporary props underneath it just holding it up. But I think what's really interesting is you can see the level of weather erosion from this piece of stone here in comparison to the new bit. So there is a whole load of erosion here, mainly due to the prevailing winds. So it's just blown it all away. And then this scaffold area here is what's effectively keeping this wall in place at the moment. It's just been pinned back. So these bits of scaffold have been in for a couple of 3 years, I guess, and just keeping the whole thing in situ. And then that'll be taken down, scaffold taken away, and the new stonework replaced. But this is effectively why this tower is on the risk register, because it's unsafe and it's falling apart.
Without that, how likely was it to have?
Oh, incredibly likely.
Yeah.
It was a case of if rather than or when rather than if, as it were. Yeah. So in terms of programme, we're on about a 6 or 7 month programme. We've probably been delayed by about 3 weeks at the moment, mainly due to weather and archaeology. Timber here, we weren't expecting this to be as rotten as we'd first imagined.